Konnichiwa, and welcome to Tsuki no Ame, where we try Japanese snacks and treats. Today's kind of an interesting one, so we are still waiting for 3 of our 4 subscription boxes. I don't know what's going on. But in the meantime, I thought it might be kind of fun, like with the Crave Japan box, just to try something a little bit different. I know most of what I hear personally is about, the 3 main subscription boxes, right? Boxu, Sakurako, and Tokyo Treat. Um, but there are a lot of options out there. Japan Candy Box, of course, being one of them. And then there are other things such as like the Crave Japan box, and this is yet another option out there. So this is a box from, well, as you can probably tell, Shogun Candy. So Shogun Candy does things a little differently from all the other boxes that we've done, which is they have 6 different boxes, and for the most part, their contents are fairly standard. So what I mean by that is this is the Hime snack box, and if you order one, tomorrow, or you order one 6 months from now, or you got one 6 months ago, most of the contents are fairly the same. They do say that they have some seasonal items that change. I haven't ordered a duplicate box before, just because, we do get those subscription boxes. We do try a lot of different things, so I just haven't done it. But it also means like you have a pretty good idea of what you're getting when you get one of these. For example, so this one, if you look here, is a gluten-free box. So on the back, they do specify that some are manufactured in the same factory as snacks with gluten. So if you are, especially sensitive to gluten, you do need to be aware of that. But at the same time, if you're somebody who's just mildly, this is an option where, you can get less of the gluten snacks. And that's just something that they do. They have 2 options that are kind of like that. They have 2 fairly standard ones, and they have 2 that are Batsu games. And I bring that up in part because the first time we really talked about Batsu games on the channel was back in August. And they were actually the example of how I used for how to do transparency correctly. That box, similar to this one where it clearly says the gluten-free, and then you look at the back, they have, of course, this, hey, still need to be careful. There's still some potential for risk. It very clearly stated Batsu game at the bottom. Inside the box, on the inside of the lid, it straight up said this is a Batsu game. This is how it works. And while they didn't tell you which snacks were going to be the nasty ones, you knew what you were getting into, which is something I really appreciate about them. I also really like just looking at the design of this box. This is beautiful. You have all of these flowers in that traditional art style that you see like on the kimono, which I really, really love. These are some of the first things that kind of drew me to Japanese culture when I was young, is just the beauty of these kinds of flowers and these kinds of designs. So yeah, it's something where, this is available through Amazon. It's only about $25, and you do get quite a bit, honestly. So I just thought, since we are waiting, it might be kind of fun just to check this out, and, we'll taste test, and, if one of the boxes arrive, then we'll of course do that. But yeah, I thought it'd be kind of interesting just to see something new, kind of like the Crave Japan. So with all that said, let's crack in here, because I did see like all the stuff on the listing. Oh, and they of course give you a Best Buy for the entirety of the box. Sorry, it's been one of those days. So yeah, I saw the contents that were listed on the Amazon listing, but of course with the possibility of a seasonality, if some snack is just not available, or that there's something that's kind of special, there's of course potential for some sort of difference, which is kind of fun. All right. Also, I appreciate that these are taped closed. Every time we get one that's taped closed, I appreciate it. Thank you. And again, they have that warning. So they have, they're still doing it. Okay, so few things to take note of first. They do have a card game, and each box comes with a card for the card game. This is only my second one, so I have 2 cards for my deck, if you can even call it that, at the same time. Really just kind of fun. I like when these kinds of companies do something a little unique, and this is something that they do. And then we have this little brochure thing, which has, of course, their different boxes, a little bit on some different candies that are in here, and then some information on the game. Also, they have a website where you can pull it up and get all the nutritional fact information, including ingredients lists. So if there's something that you're concerned about, that is something you can check out. Another thing I really appreciate about these guys. Part of why, since I have the opportunity to showcase somebody, I thought I'd give them a little attention. They kind of deserve it. At least I feel like it. So, okay. Yes, another one of these. So we've had some like these in the past. So these are gummies that are rock, paper, scissors games. And basically you have, this big long thing, and then hidden up here is rock, paper, or scissors. And you don't know until you open it. And so you can either play it with your friend, get one each, open it up, and whoever gummy wins the game. Or you can play it against the gummy yourself. Call it and then see if you won. Really kind of fun. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right. So as far as I can tell, these are hard candies of some kind, but they're flavor changing. So they all start as cola, and then they change to, it looks like, strawberry, lemon, apple, or grape. And you don't know until then which one. I'm going to freely state, I've had this before. We've tried this on the channel. I don't know why, but for a while we got a ton of corn pottage flavored things. I am personally not a fan. They're not bad if you like corn flavored things, and I don't. So I tend to prefer when they send us a different flavor. But there's nothing wrong with the bag. It really is just I am not a fan of that flavor. So we have some of these Tohato, it looks like. Yeah, these are potato rings, which we've had. They're really pretty good. Okay, these are like one of my favorite things I've discovered on the channel. These caramel corns, they have the texture of a puffy Cheeto, but they're covered in like the same kind of coating as a Bugles. So they have that caramel flavor, and they have the soft corn puff. Really good. So good. Such a weird snack. Wow. Okay, I think they just went like completo crazy with this box. I was not seeing nearly as much completo on the listing when I saw it. In fact, actually the contents here are really different from what they were showing, which is kind of cool. I really appreciate that. But we have, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 of these little packets of completo, which are honestly genuinely really pretty tasty. Oh no, 11. There's another one that I missed. Okay. We have some sort of weird stamping candy, which is kind of fun. I think it might be just a plain soda, but I don't know. Still, looks like fun. Wow, we have just a ton of these little items. We have had these are kind of a dagashi style of mochi. So dagashi being, of course, just inexpensive candies and snacks. And I do mean inexpensive. Like some of these translate to about like 10 cents USD, something like that. I mean, they're very, we're talking extremely cheap. Even to get these shipped over, not super expensive. Okay. Ooh, we have a gaburichu. We've had a few of these. I don't think we've had this flavor before. This looks like it's cola. Yep. So we have a cola gaburichu. Okay. I know we've seen these before, and I think it's gum, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Either way, it looks like fun. Okay. So we have had these before, but we haven't had them since like, I don't know, about this time last year. It's been about a year. These are chocolate balls, and this is a fortune telling. So each one of these underneath, there's not really a great way. I don't know how well you can see it, but underneath there is a word in Japanese, and that is for just a different aspect of your life. And then, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm holding it upside down. Wow. Yeah, it's got a lot. So like your health, schooling, family, everything, money, all of it. And underneath there's like an image, and that tells you what your fortune is. Whether you have really good fortune, whether you have bad fortune, just mildly positive, mildly negative. It is really kind of weird, kind of fun. Just sort of an interesting thing. Okay, I have no idea what this is, but it is soda flavored. So I don't know if this is like a gum or a hard candy or something like that. It is kind of reminding me of the Monster Gum, though, that we got from Japan Candy Box, where one of the three is a lot more sour than the other ones, just from the way that they're designed. I wonder if it isn't that. Okay. So we've actually had these before. This is a butter mochi cracker, which was really, really good. And I think we've had that exact flavor, actually. Oh, yes. So these are, if I remember right, konjac jellies. So we have a peach and a grape flavor jelly. You see what I mean? The boxes are just full. Like nothing is super, super big. There's just a ton of things that are packed in. It's wild. Okay. What are you? Oh. These look like they're maybe ramune tablets of some kind. There's some sort of tablets in here. And they're saying that they're just cider flavored, which is kind of interesting. Like, there's so much weird stuff in here. We've got the Mina Vita C. These are basically, they're tiny candies, but they're pretty fun. And we have a grape one. We've tried several of these. I know we've tried this one in particular, but we've tried several different flavors of those. And yes, I know that might actually not be in shot. At the end of this, I will rearrange this as best I can to show off everything. Though, to some extent, it's not going to be possible just because of the huge pile of completo. So, here we have two different types of gum. We have a strawberry and an orange. So this, I'm going to tell you right now, we're not doing on the channel. These are candy cigarettes. We're not doing them. But they are part of the box. So I'm guessing that this is also a type of gum, just from its appearance, how it compares to the gum packets. This one is cola flavored, and I think it's like a leftover from Halloween, which I am a fan of. Okay, we're getting to the point where there's very little I can infer. So here we have a gummy, cider flavored. We've had this on the channel before. These are fizzy candies. This one in particular is plain soda flavored. Oh, we have another one of those gummies. This one is cola flavored. This box is just so full, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't miss anything. I'm pretty sure that this is a gum of some kind, Pokemon themed. And then I think these are hard candies, but this one is definitely cola flavored, but I have no idea what these two are. There's no way for me to tell. So that said, they do have a website where they do have like all of this information available, just it's not included in the box. And of course, some of these, I can tell you straight up, are different from what was listed in the Amazon listing. Actually, I'm going to use a bunch of these to just kind of try and get everything to stay up, give it something to kind of brace against, because there is so much in here. Holy cow. This box is just overflowing with goodies. It is genuinely pretty amazing. I forgot just how full these things are. So it is, mostly, of course, again, that inexpensive dagashi style candy, right? At the same time, dagashi is a huge part of Japanese culture, especially for small school children, to just stop and get a couple pieces of candy on your way home. It's at least historically been a place where especially elementary school children would really gather and socialize with their peers right before going home and having to deal with, homework and chores and all that jazz. Again, there's just so much. There's literally like a little sea of Competo growing there. Oh, wow. I don't even know if I can get everything in the shot. There is so much in here. And really, this is a great problem to have, to be able to just, especially if you're somebody who's wanting to try a lot of different things, who isn't really sure what they may or may not like, just because, going to the stores and going to the websites, it can be very daunting. These sites are so full of options, and, it can get kind of pricey getting things imported. I'm very, very aware of that. And so, if you're just wanting to try a lot of different things, this is a really, really great option, especially if you're more interested in that dagashi style of candy, as opposed to things like the more traditional sweets or wanting some more of the full-size things. Just because I can already tell you from experience that a number of these things really, really tasty and really, really fun, worth your time. But again, because they're so small and they are these dagashi, very hard to get your hands on. So yeah, I'm going to go through this, see what we're going to try, get everything organized. So we are going to leap into this until, of course, we get one of our November boxes. Should be fun. I am really looking forward to a lot of this. A lot of this looks really, really tasty. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like my shirt, link for that is down in the description below. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Johnny.